Hey, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Me. Today I'm going to show you how to make pilau. Pilau is a delicious food made mostly in East Africa. We cook it using rice, and it is a festive food, but some people are lucky to have it every week. But it is a very, very delicious rice recipe. In here on my tray, I do have the ingredients for the spices, which I'm going to show you first how to make the spices. Here I do have the cardamom, which we call iliki in Swahili. We do have the coriander seeds, which are the mbegu za dania. And here we do have kungumanga, which is nutmeg. And here we have cloves, which is karafuu. We do have cumin seeds, which is bizari nyembamba. We do have cinnamon sticks, which is mdalasini. We do have black pepper, which is pilipili manga. Those are the ingredients for the spices. So I am going to show you how to mix them. How I do mine, I do have a tablespoon of everything, half of the nutmeg. It's very, very strong flavor. I crushed it, and now you see it's half of it. I've already put in my machine for blending. And then the most ingredient for this is the cumin. Cumin, you put 2 tablespoons. And then cinnamon, I'll have like 2 sticks, equivalent of a tablespoon. And then black pepper, I will have a tablespoon. So everything 1 tablespoon, and then the cumin is 2 tablespoons. So I already have my ingredients put in my coffee grinder. I use the coffee grinder from my NutriBullet. And I am going to show you how it looks after this. I'll bring it here, plug it in. In less than a minute, I do have my powder done. That is how it is. If you want it finer, like I see there's still a piece of cinnamon stick there, I will do it more, and then we move to the next step. The next stuff I have is the salt. I have a cube of garlic that I made myself and then froze it. It's defrosting. And I do have garlic, cloves of garlic. This is half a garlic. I do have my basmati rice, 3 cups, and a kilo of goat meat. I'm using goat meat, but you can use chicken, you can use beef, or whatever meat you want to use. But for me, I love goat meat, and that's what I'm using for my pilau. Okay, over here, I had my onion cooking. I forgot to mention, you need 1 large onion to cook, and then you cook until it's golden brown. When it's golden brown, now then you add your garlic and ginger. My garlic I pounded with the mortar and pestle, but I wish I used the mincer, which gets you finer parts. And then I defrosted my ginger, and here I throw it in. If you throw the frozen cube, it will be splashing water at you, because water and oil is not good. It will just be wet and it will be splashing. Even see, it's already defrosted, but it's still splashing a little bit. So I keep stirring my garlic and ginger. They don't take much to cook. Another thing I like adding, really, this is optional, it's the cumin seed. I don't like seeing my pilau just the plain rice. I like seeing some other colors too. So I will add a tablespoon This is the best ingredient for the basmati to give that good flavor of your basmati. So I will stir this, and then it doesn't take much to cook, and once it is a little cooked, especially the garlic, everything else is cooked. I think it's good enough. You don't have to leave to burn. When you burn your garlic, remember it is bitter and you won't have a pleasant taste on your food. And now it's all cooked. I will need to add a teaspoon of salt, or whatever you like. If you like more salt, mine is a hipful. I'll do and a half. So you put salt to taste according to how much salt you like. My garlic is all cooked. See there, it's browning there. That is perfect. I will throw in my meat, my goat meat. And I did not mention, this is a goat meat steak. It's the leg of goat meat. And then I had to get the steak part, not the bones. So I will stir this with the salt, ginger, garlic, and it will be cooking. And I can add my spices here because it's still oily. We don't have any water added. I'll add 3 tablespoons. I'll do like that. That is 1, 2, and 3. It's up to you. I know my taste and how much garlic, spices I put, the pilau masala, and 3 will be good. I normally do, my rule of thumb is 1 cup of rice with 1 tablespoon of the spice. So for me, because it's 3 cups, I put 3 tablespoons. But depending on how you like the spice, you can either reduce how much you use or use more. So I will stir my beef here to brown a little bit with the oil, and then after that I will let it cook for about 10-15 minutes. Our steaks here are very tender. They've already been tenderized, so I am not cooking for 1 hour. I did not need to boil it first. I just cook direct. I just fry it with the spices. So within 10-15 minutes, my goat meat steak will be ready, and then we can add the rice. As I'm cooking here, it's in the pot. I can see it's sticking a little bit in the bottom. So I will have to add a little water, just very little water, so that everything comes out and those flavors will mingle. And this is because of that powder spice we put. That's why it is thickening and sticking to the bottom. All right, now I will cover my meat 10-15 minutes and cook it. Then we will move to the next step. Okay guys, it's 10 minutes and my goat meat is cooked. I'll show you how it looks. And it looks pasty, but it's because of the spices I added. I know how much I always like my spices. I used 3 tablespoonfuls because I have 3 cups of rice, so a tablespoon per cup. And this is what happens. You have to have very low heat. See the brown sticky stuff, it sticks at the bottom. So you need to have your thing in low heat. I'm going ahead to add 6 cups of water. I just want to show you exactly the measurements so that you get it right. Four, 5, and 6. So my water was boiled already. I use my kettle to boil the water. If you don't have a kettle, you can boil on the stove, but if you're not in a hurry, it's okay. Now you can add cold water. So I have to stir and make sure anything that's stuck at the bottom is I just scrape it off from the bottom of the pot, and then raise my heat here a little bit. I'll just add my rice already washed, and it drained a little water there, so my rice is done, is washed. So I will just give it a little stir there, and now, since my water had boiled, if yours was cold, you give it a rapid boil, then lower to simmer. But mine was already boiled. I'll leave it at a simmer for about 10 minutes for all the water to evaporate. And after the water evaporates, then we will cover the rice. So the aromas are great here. I already feel like I want to just eat before it is cooked. So 10 minutes. We'll check and see how much water has evaporated. I want the water to evaporate first, and then we can cover our rice, okay? So as my rice is cooking there, I want to show you the kachumbari, or we can call it salsa if that will be the word, but in Swahili we call it kachumbari. So I have here a large onion. Really, it was like almost a half of this bowl, but the trick is I cut this a while back. It's been like 2 hours. I cut the onion and then I soaked it with salt, and the salt helped to reduce the strong flavor of the onion. So as you can see, I'll go ahead and mix everything together. I have mixed it twice prior to this, and then I'll show you what it does. The salt get the liquid from the onion, so that is what we have, and then we're going to rinse it. And also, before I go further with that, I do have also the cilantro, which is dania chopped, and then I have diced tomatoes. I made everything ready so that we cut time on this. So I'm going to wash the onions, and that is removing the salt and the flavor, the strong flavor from the onion. And I'll give it a good rinse, once, twice, or thrice. Okay, so this one is ready. I'm gonna squeeze excess water, and then I will mix it here with the tomatoes and the cilantro. And remember, I don't have to put salt first, because it already the onions still will have some salt. So you just give it a good stir or mix. And yeah, the best word I have for it, it's like, I will call it it's a salsa. It's salsa, because these are almost the same ingredients for salsa. So there's also a variation of this. Some people would like to add grated carrots. You would like to add some of them add raisins, some of them add cucumbers. So for me, it's very simple, and the most basic way to do it is to have this. You can add as much cilantro you like, if you like the flavor of it or not. So after this, I will test, and the salt is perfect. So I'll show you when it's all, my rice is ready and all put up together. 10 minutes now. And as I said, my water from the rice has all evaporated, and now we'll show you how it looks. So it's all evaporated. So I'll give it one more stir. It really smells so good here. And I'll give it one more stir here, and then I will now cover my rice and continue cooking for another 10 minutes. And make sure your heating is really, really low, because because of that, the spices were powdery, unless you're using whole spices. But the powdery spices really go to the bottom and thicken the stew or the liquid that is cooking, and it can burn. So I go to the very low setting here, and I will cover for another 10 minutes. My rice needs about 20 minutes to cook. So another 10 minutes and we will be back to show you. So at the next 10 minutes now, and my rice is fully cooked. As you can see in the pot here, it is all fully cooked, and ooh, it smells so good. I feel like I could eat before everybody is home, but I have to wait for them. So I will go ahead, turn off my stove, and it's cooked. I will cover it here and let it keep heating with the heat on the stove. And when everybody is here, I will show you how I present it. Now it's time for me to present the meal and show you how we serve or we present our pilau with kachumbari. So it's all cooling down, it's not too hot, and you fluff it first. I have already fluffed mine with a fork, and then I am serving it on a plate, and some more meat. Oopsie. After that, I will now add the salsa or the kachumbari. Some people like putting it on top. I like serving it on the side. It's up to you. So there it is done. Doesn't that look so beautiful? Look at it from all angles. It is so beautiful, packed with the flavors, and yeah, people are gonna enjoy this. So next time you wanna impress your guests or surprise your family with a new recipe, give the pilau a try. All the ingredients, you saw them on the video, and the proportionate. You can start with a smaller portion first before you go bigger. You can just try 1 cup of rice first before you go to present a big meal. But I do know if you follow my recipe, you are going to get it perfect. So there it is, it's presented, and I hope you learned something, a new way to make your rice extra special. Please help me by spreading the word about Sophia's Kamau channel in Edmonton, and hope you try my recipe, give it a thumbs up, subscribe and share. Until next time, we will see you again. Bye.